Hi there.
Hello, how are
How
you
are
doing?
you?
I'm pretty good, thanks. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So, what is your name?
My name is Ahmed and I'm from Egypt. Have you ever met
Egypt.
students from Egypt?
Nice. Very nice. Wait, your camera froze.
Sorry, I was just trying to reopen my camera.
That's okay. Yeah, it froze for a second and I was like, no.
Yeah,
But you're
that
you're back. There
that's
we
much
go.
more comfortable for me to have more, facial expressions.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
agree.
it's much more better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much
So
better to see the other person on the other side.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So,
So
Ahmad, I
mhm.
see this is the free trial lesson that you are doing on Cambly. So tell me why you want to learn English. I mean, you obviously speak pretty good English. So when did your journey start? Why do you want to keep practicing all of it?
Yeah, first of all, it seems like this is a trial lesson because it's one of this is a different account or this is a new account I just created, but this is not the first time I talk to tutors on Cambly.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so um, how my English learning started? I would say I started learning English um, while I was at school, but it wasn't a very good experience because um, we haven't had we haven't had enough practice, or we didn't have enough practice. We just like learned how to pass the final exams, so it was like it was just like passive learning instead of active learning. That's why I started to learn English again on my own
Your own.
in
Okay.
about 2020 or when I joined university because I realized that English is very important for my studies and it would help me if I traveled abroad. And I studied computer science and I believe the majority of the good resources in programming and web development, for example, on the internet are in English. So it would
Mm-hmm.
help me study better and it would open many opportunities for me, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I would say like 99% of the world would speak to you in English, like that's a global language. The only time that I've dealt with someone not wanting to speak English was in France. They did not want to speak English. They were like, nope, no English, just French. So, but other than that, everything what you're saying, everything is in English. A lot of those courses online are in English. So that's really good that you took the time and wanted to do it on your own because I know it can be challenging for some people to just stick to it, and do it. So good for you. Good for you. So you said, have you started the university or you will start the university?
No, I actually graduated from university.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice.
So
When did you graduate?
I graduated last July.
Last July, so a year ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean July 2022.
Okay.
July
Nice.
2022. Yeah, and after that, I joined the military because I am from Egypt, and in Egypt, um, you have to spend at least 1 year serving in the Egyptian military or joining the Egyptian military before you can travel abroad or apply for full-time jobs. It's like
Oh,
compulsory. Okay, it's
okay.
mandatory. Yeah.
Mm,
So,
nice.
and I joined the military, but I'm in vacation right now and yeah, I am supposed to finish serving in the military um, in in the end of February 2024.
Okay, so almost just a few more months. So are you allowed to stay in the military if that's what you like really wanted to do?
Yeah, I would volunteer if I wanted, if I wanted to.
Oh, okay, but it's not like a job. Like they wouldn't pay you or
No, no. If I wanted to volunteer, I would do that, and it would be like a job. Yeah,
oh, okay. Oh, interesting. That's so interesting. I've never heard of it. Like I mean, I haven't asked, but I haven't heard of any other country that you have to like it's a mandatory thing to be able
yeah,
to get a full-time job or travel abroad.
yeah.
Okay?
But I think um, there is lots of country that force force men or men people to join military after they graduate from university.
As a requirement. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
probably, yeah, probably. That is true. That is true. Yeah. I
yeah.
just now
So
I know the first country, Egypt.
excuse me.
Now I know of the first country that does that. Like for me, for
Yeah.
my culture knowledge, that Egypt does that. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. So, I saw in your profile that you are fluent or native in Spanish, right?
Yes. Yes, correct.
Yeah, and how did this journey start? I mean, journey of learning another language.
Yeah. So I
Have
was
you lived
born.
in Spain or you just learned it at school?
Yeah. So I was born in Colombia in South America, and I went to bilingual school since I was little. But the English they teach you in those schools, it's always very like proper, and formal, and they don't let you speak much. It's mostly like grammatical exercises or things like
Yeah,
that. And so when I was 14, my dad got offered a job in the United States, and it wasn't something that my parents wanted to do. Like they never wanted to leave, our country. So they kept telling him like, please, like we need you, we want you. So they decided to move, and we moved to Houston, Texas. And I started high school there. So I was 14. And so it was really hard. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. At first, it was very hard. I almost thought that I didn't know English because when people were speaking to me, it was really fast. They had an accent. They had slang
yeah,
words. So I was like, literally the first like 3 or 4 days, people would ask me things, and I was like, yes, yes, because I didn't understand. They were speaking so fast. And so I'm gonna say like the first year for me was the hardest because you're just getting used to, right? To listening to English every single day for 8 hours straight when you were always thinking and speaking Spanish for me. So it was really hard to make that change. Like my brain really took a while to just like, because I would think in Spanish, translate it, then say it in
yeah,
English, right? And then the
yeah.
opposite way, like
Yeah,
people would.
that's exactly what's happening. What was happening to me when I started trying to speak in English.
Aha,
Yeah,
yeah,
I was thinking in my native language, I mean Arabic, and after that start to translate Arabic to English, and that made me stuttering and you know,
exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
I
It's so
felt like
hard.
my tongue was twisting.
Yeah, that happened to me all the time, all the time. And I was like, when is this gonna end? But yeah, it was very hard to like then hear someone in English then translate it to Spanish, think in Spanish for that answer. So it would take me a while to just like, okay, this is how it is. Because writing it and reading, it was so easy for me. Why?
Yes,
Because I was used to, right? Like,
and even listening at some extent. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So writing, it was so easy. Like, if I saw text, I would understand all of it. But like trying to convey an idea or trying to say something to someone like a story very clearly, it was so hard for me. So it did take me a while, but I think it was just I was forced to, speak it because, I was in classes, I had to do speech, I had to do, like speak in front of people.
Yeah, you
And
were
it was
immersed in the language.
exactly, I was. It was just like, here you go. You deal with
Yeah,
it.
but you're almost native right now.
Yeah, I hear I have a few words that I hear an accent on, but I feel like for me right now it's very easy to change from English to Spanish. Like if I'm translating to someone, like that's just easier for me because now my brain is used to. I've been here for 16 years now. Even
Yeah.
though we still speak Spanish at home, I still have a lot of Spanish speaking friends. Most of my friends are Spanish speakers. So I still like use my Spanish a lot, which I'm glad I do because I haven't lost that. But I'm also glad that I now speak fluent English because it's helped me, what you're saying, like in jobs, interviews, courses I've taken online, all of that. It's mostly English. So yeah, it is an advantage for sure for us that speak two languages.
Yeah, that's really cool and that's interesting. Um, um, uh, I mean, I still see myself liking some of fluency because I like fluency, and sometimes I'm stuttering when I'm speaking English, and this is the skill I try to improve at the time.
Right, right. And I always tell my adult students that having conversations with different people, because like I might speak slower than other people, or like I've heard that of from some students that my English is like more clearly than others, just because probably because English is my second language, so I speak it a little bit slower. um, but I think like hearing from different people, it's so important for your English, and doing conversation, like not being afraid of saying something wrong, because we all do that, it's not a big deal. And I think that's a way how you could learn to,
Yes.
correct your mistakes. So
Yeah, but it takes time.
it
It,
does. It takes time.
yeah,
Yes.
it does
Yes.
take a lot of time.
Yeah, it does. But practice is very, very important. It's the key for sure. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Um,